Okay, all of that was preparation stuff, and there are some non-structural things for safety, like anchoring the water heater, securing furniture, and protecting window glass in your home. The water heater, we were talking about the need for water supply if the aquifers are cut off. I don't know, in our booth we have a map of the general area. It shows how all the utility lines, water, electricity, sewage, and all will be, could be cut by an earthquake. If you have a thrust fault earthquake like runs under the Seattle fault here, and you get a displacement of 5 or 6 feet, a lot of those lines are going to be broken, and it may be a while before you have water in your community. So it can be a problem. So your water heater can be a source of water for you. Just to make sure that it's available, you can, if you haven't, you can get a water heater strap at Home Depot. That's probably the best one. It's a double strap, goes bottom third and top third, and attaches to the wall so that your water heater won't be rolling around. I've heard people say, I don't need a strap, it's tight in a closet. I've heard, being the earthquake guy, I get all the stories of earthquake, and somebody came by the booth and said, my water heater was tight in the closet, and it just blew through the door during the earthquake. So even if it's tight in the closet, you want to strap it down so that it will stay upright, and then you will have it as a source of water. If you have on-demand hot water now and got rid of your water tank, you need to think through, where am I going to have water? Am I going to get a 55-gallon drum to put outside the house? You need to be thinking about, where's my water going to come from? And then there are the hazards in the home, the things that we don't normally think about that could really hurt us if they fell over on us. You may have an armoire or a china cabinet, something that has all these beautiful plates and cups in it, and if that comes over, it could hurt you. So just simply, I say simply, but it seems to be hard to do for a lot of people, strapping a piece of furniture to the wall, where this end would be going to the back end or to the framework of a cabinet or bookshelf, and then this screw would go through the wall into a stud, so that would just be a restraint for your large cabinet. There are all kinds of things that need to be attended to, stereo and TV and all those sorts of things. You have high friction pads that you can get to keep things from sliding. And for figurines and all that kind of thing, there's this amazing museum quality putty that won't damage your furniture, that you can put under things so that they don't slide around. This is a metal bracket that you can use on bookshelves, attaches to the wall, and then this screws down into the top, dissipates some energy. There are all kinds of things like that that can help you. You need to be thinking, where are my pictures? Like, do you have a favorite big heavy picture or mirror that's above the couch, or do you have pictures above your bed? The pictures are connected with a wire, and usually there's just a little nail or hook into the sheetrock, and if that gets to moving, those will want to come off the wall. This is one of several types of restraints. It hooks onto the wire. You can come look at these either in the booth or here afterwards. But if you get this little bracket hooked onto the wire so it's solid, and then this little hook goes into the wall where your current hanger is, and you just push it through the wall. If you pretend my hand is the wall, you can see it becomes a spring and holds this in to the wall, and then you use this bracket to slip on here so that the picture won't come off the wall. It just will dangle around. And they're, again,
Any hardware stuff?
no, they're not available. I have them available as a monopoly through our website. There are probably other places you can get them. This sheet I'm handing out gives typical hazards in a house. We have a website that gives products that you can either look at and rip off on your own, or you can buy them from us. We'd be glad to help you out with that. So that's one of the reasons you drop, cover, hold, is to avoid whatever might be going to fall down on you. If you you just use practical thought, heavy things low and lighter things high. That would mean you'd move your Chihuly art piece off of the mantle down to the hearth, so you don't fall and lose that valuable piece that you are so proud of. We're talking about possessions and securing them. The general rule is if it can hurt you, secure it. If it's valuable, secure it. So everything else, don't worry about. Now, window glass is one of the largest causes of injury in earthquake. In the 1994 earthquake in Northridge, the leading cause of injury was glass, and also in Loma Prieta. The reason the Northridge, it happened at 5 in the morning, and people were jumping out of bed with bare feet, and things that had come off were giving them injury. So a window film can help. This, we use a 3M earthquake window film on dangerous windows. It's clear, cuts UV. The main thing, it holds the window together. It doesn't keep the window from breaking, but it will hold the glass so that it doesn't shatter and cause problems for you. So that is one. That's a little more complicated than some of the other things, but you can see as we've gone through our steps to be prepared, things are starting to fall into shape. You know, the immediate drop, cover, hold, the planning, the out-of-state contact, disaster plan, pets, emergency supplies, fire extinguisher, having a radio to use, and then strapping the water heater, securing possessions, and protecting windows. All of that is important to be prepared. You don't have to do all that in one day. Just sort of get on a plan and get started is the important thing. Any questions to this point? Yes. The questions about the earthquake window film, the long-term, 3M guarantees that for life. However, they are counting on you to move statistically with the population. That'd be every 7 years. Their film will last practically 12 to 15 years before it has to be replaced. But they're, if you're at your home, in your home long term, they'll replace that for you for free. Well, you can't use abrasives on it, but you can use Windex and the other kind of window cleaning things, which would be fine. Yeah, but it does have to be applied professionally. Yes?
Would have a longer life and maybe...
The earthquake film is specifically for that, but the question is, could you use a lighter film like sun film? And certainly a sun film will help if you have a lot of light and you've had a company come in and put on one of the really light films just to cut UV and glare, then that will help. You know, the glass won't shatter nearly as badly. It'll tear. The earthquake film will keep it from tearing. In our booth, we have a window we did about 15 years ago, and it's just crisscrossed with all kinds of breakage, but it holds together, which is the idea. Well, let's talk about the utilities now. The electrical panel, the water shutoff and gas shutoff. If the earthquake happened and you had problems in any of those areas, does everybody here know where those components are in your house. Like, have you ever had to turn off the electricity? Or I know Mr. Handyman or Ms. Handyman may not be there when this happens. So if you're on your own, do you know where to find these things? So let's look at the electrical panel. It's that gray box that may be in your laundry or garage or some odd place. Just know where it is and know that the main power button is usually at the top and it'll be marked. And if you just yank it over, that'll take care of electricity in your house. So that's the main thing for the electrical panels. If you have a service that still has the screw-in fuses, you probably need to call an electrician ahead of time and go ahead and spend the money to upgrade your system. But water shutoffs, your appliances usually have something underneath to shut off, but there's a main shutoff valve that may look like this, or it may look like this, that comes into your house. I've seen them in a crawl space at the far end from the entrance, and I don't know who was thinking about emergency for that. So find out where your water shutoff is coming into the house, because that could be important after an earthquake if you get water going. If you can't find that, you can always go out to the street, and you should know where your electric or your water shutoff box is in the street, so that in a worst case scenario, you could go to the street to shut that off. And then gas shutoff. How many of you have natural gas at your house? Okay, almost everyone. Do you have a wrench outside to turn the meter off? The general rule is the earthquake happens, you run out, you sniff, do I smell gas? Or in the house, do I smell gas? If you do, you shut off the meter. There is a better way, the automatic gas shutoff valve, which has a ball that normally rests up on top in this little box, and the gas flows until the earthquake shakes the ball off, and it automatically turns the gas off. And then whenever you calm down, you can go outside, or whenever you start to take a shower and there's no hot water, you can go outside and reset this yourself. You don't have to wait on the gas company to do this, because it's between the meter and your house. And then you do the checking. Do I smell gas? Do I hear gas hissing? If you do, you turn it back off and wait the month or two before the gas company gets out to your house after a big earthquake. We have a mock-up in the booth 1333 if you want to look at that. Actually, I'll pass this around. You look at that live. So you've got the electrical panel, water main shut off, and the gas. So any questions to this point?